England's rivers are filled with a chemical cocktail of sewage, agricultural waste and plastic, according to a cross-party group of MPs, and it's putting both public health and nature at risk. A new report released today finds that not a single river in England is free from pollution. The Environmental Audit Committee wants to see tougher monitoring and enforcement.
A new study painting a very sobering picture on pollution. The Lancet Commission on Pollution and Health finds pollution caused nearly 9 million deaths across the world in 2019. That's about 1 in every 6 deaths and more than war, terrorism, malaria, HIV, and drugs.
Scientists have long warned about the effects of plastic pollution in the world's oceans. Now, a review of studies shows that despite awareness, the problem is getting worse.
Air pollution is a huge problem around the world, and we know it impacts our health. Now, we know by how much. Toxic air shortens our lives by 20 months on average. That's according to the Health Effects Institute in their latest report, The State of Global Air.
Just a day away, a stark reminder that clean air for all Californians is still a distant dream.
A sobering new report shows that, surprise, surprise, the greater LA region has once again been ranked the most polluted in the nation. And our Jason,
it's considered by some to be a global crisis, the overabundance of plastics filling the oceans and landfills. Plastic showing up in the stomachs and intestines of wild animals and in places on Earth that even humans don't occupy.
And now there's concern that we are unknowingly consuming plastics ourselves. A report from Axios over the weekend explores this issue. So joining me now to talk about that.
Supercharged red tide, algae blooms, and tons of dead marine life. Environmentalists tell us Florida's water pollution crisis is at a tipping point. In this special Full Circle report, ABC Action News reporter Michael Paluska hit the water with scientists and learned this is a statewide problem, and everyone who lives in Florida.
8 billion kilos of plastic waste enter our oceans every year, but that is only about 2% of the plastic we make and consume. There is mounting evidence of how broken down microplastics affect us humans as well as wildlife.
Million species of animals and plants around the world are now at risk of extinction, in part due to pollution and overfishing. A new United Nations report says nature is essential for our existence and a good quality of life, but points to a stark warning. Humans are transforming the planet's natural habitat at an unprecedented rate.
Scientists say the report is a landmark in the conservation battle. Not only was it compiled by scientists, hundreds of them, it was approved by diplomats as well from 132 countries, including here in the U.S. They say human survival depends on healthy animals and plants, and destroying them ultimately hurts us.
Plastic is quickly overwhelming our food systems, it's overwhelming natural habitats, it is making life hell for animals, it is
Environmental pollution contributed to the deaths of about 9 million people in 2015. That's nearly 15 times as many deaths from war.
Yeah, well, scientists have been shouting about this from the rooftops for years, but unfortunately we've had a lot of crises on our hands lately, climate change and the pandemic, to name a few. But at this point, we can't afford to ignore this issue any longer. We know that air pollution in particular is linked to a number of adverse health outcomes: kidney disease, heart disease, chronic respiratory infections, lung cancer, and all of those can lead to premature death.
The study found more people died from exposure to dirty air than from health factors, including obesity, alcohol, and a high-sodium diet. Dr. Philip Landry.
you.